All right. We're holding Daf Samaches and Beis all the way on the bottom, 2 lines from the end. To review, Ruve made a chart for the 8-minute Daf, so I just copied it off the screen, really. Thank you. Somebody call Yeshua, tell him it's more important to be here. He's using this as an excuse. He's the final stages of the building. Crunch time in the building. All right, so anyways, we had a 3-way machlokes here. We have 7 days of Shiva Nakim. Person is a Zav or a Zava. They see a Ziva for 3 days. After 3 days, they have to keep 7 days of Tahara of Nikim. They have to make sure there's no Ziva. Whatever Ziva is, it's not really blood, it's Ziva. By man, certainly, it's not blood. Al Kopanim, the machlokes is as follows. The case was that they checked only on day 1 and day 7. And nothing in between. You're supposed to check every single day, but they didn't. They bracketed the 7 days, 1 and 7. So, according to Rabbi Eliezer, this is good. This is perfect. You have a chazaka that there's no ziva because they checked the zav and the zava checked on 1 and 7. You can be toivel on day 7. According to Rabbi Yeshua, he says the most interesting shita. The Gemara says we don't really understand him. He says day 1 and day 7 equal to 2 days of nikim. So what you have to do is pretend you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gershon is here. Baruch Hashem.
Try to be quiet.
It's difficult. It's difficult. Oh, Avi's here. Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back. He was in Chutz La'aretz, in Eilat. It's whatever. Okay, you see what's going on here? We're just reviewing yesterday's machlokes. Easy stuff. There's one new guy, so I gotta go slow here. The question is, do we do 1 and 2? What's going on here? What? The minion just finished? What's By the way, seriously, I keep on meaning to talk to people. Do you guys want to start in the new building? Do we want to start a 6:30 minyan in the new building so that we could go, no matter what, we could always start shir at 7:15 exactly. Monday, Thursday, Rosh Chodesh will always start at the same time. None of this 30 minutes. You say yes, yes. What do you say? Or whatever the time is, but you know, okay, because I don't want to take away from Hasidim and you guys have to discuss it, but okay. Oh, Yisachar is here, so Mazel Tov in person to Yisachar who just finished Shas. And if you want to see, he left some trivia, Shas trivia on the table here. Here. The Chassid himself is here, Givaldik. Great. Oh, Yeshua is here. That's the biggest, that's the Givaldik. Okay.
And your base match is just going. I saw some markers there.
Beautiful. We're moving in for the first day of bracha, so that's it. End the story. You're bad. If you don't care that's cold and there's no heat, whatever. It'll be fine. Rabbi Isai, let's just do this quickly. We're losing time here. Why are you scared you're going to fall on? Yeah, there will be. Everything is going to be fine. Okay, so only because like 6 guys just walked in and they're moving chairs above the video, so we have to start over. Okay, again, so the story is that they did a b'dik on day 1 and day 7. Rabbi Eliezer says that's all you need halachically. You should really do all 7. You could go to the mikvah tefillah on the 7th day. Rabbi Yeshua says no. But I do count day 1 and day 7. It's unbelievable. How does he say this? Because the middle ones you don't count. They're as if she's tamei. How does he count day 1? I don't know. There's such a concept. We see it by a zav who becomes a balkari. So I do 1, 2, and he counts 5 more days, and then he goes to the mikvah. Rabbi Kiva says, and this is the most logical, says the Gemara, but we don't pass it like Rabbi Kiva. You only count the last day. That counts. Why not? And you go from there 7 days. Now, the Gemara today is asking, what if, instead of counting day 1 and day 7, what if the Zav counted day 1 and day 8? What's the difference? Day 8 is not part of the count. The Torah says count 7. Day 8 is out of the count. Says the Gemara, Iboilu, all the way in the bottom. Hazav ha'azava shabatku atzmi yom rishon v'yom shmini. If a Zav and a Zav did a bdika for Ziva on day number 1 and day number 8, umatzu tahar, and they found that they are clean of ziva, ushar hayamim lebatku, and all the days in between day 1 and day 8 they didn't do a bdika. Rabbi Eliezer mahu. What's the halacha according to Rabbi Eliezer? Now, what about according to Rabbi Yeshua? According to Rabbi Yeshua, who says I count day 1 and day 7 as 2, what about, why doesn't the Gemara ask, I'll count day 1 and day 8 according to Rabbi Yeshua? Says Rashi, he says just 2 words, the chazi l'tztarufi l'chad minyana. Says Rashi, because it's not one count. You're not able to count them as one. I can drink straight out of the bottle, I'm that thirsty.
You can have the rest. Show your true colors.
Yeah. Turn the video, turn it off, and Shkoyach Yeshua. Rabbi says, seriously, you've never seen such dedication in your life. I mean, you guys know, you get 45, he's running away, 45 messages a day. He was there at 1:30 in the morning scrubbing the floor. And that's today. And here's the thing, he was supposed to be on a flight right now to see Mashas in America. We got him a ticket, and he was mevater on his ticket in order to stay because it is crunch time. And there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. If you don't know already, we are trying, and we most likely are making a Siyum Mashas and a Chanukah Sabayis this Motzei Shabbos. Save the date. I know there's not a lot of advanced notice. We still, literally, I exaggerate not, we haven't called the caterer yet. We don't know how many people are coming, we don't know anything. It's happening though. There'll be heat, there'll be everything. Nachman Seltzer volunteered to cook if we can't find the caterer. What's the shaila? What? MC, fine. Yeah, minimum. We made a vote before he came in. The Olam wants a minyan before the daf in the new building. You're on? I think Menachem Mata wasn't so happy about it. I don't know. Oh no, you are? Okay, fine, great. So there's a minyan. And there's going to be a minyan obviously after, so there's going to be 8 o'clock minyan. Even if you don't. Fine, Zoktimar. So fine, we're holding on to today's daf. We could start going slow again. Do you need the beginning and end? In other words, day 1 and day 7. Day 8 is not part of the count, and therefore it doesn't count. And Mazel Tov to Barak. If anybody else comes in, I'm going to go crazy. It's like Barak is making a bar mitzvah for his son. So the next guy that comes in, I don't care if he finished shots, I don't care if he had a baby today, we're just going to ignore him. Maybe all we... Okay. All we care about is day 1. That's all we care about. Yeah, all these new guys that are checking in today. It's not like this every day. Omar Rav, he. Comes along, Rav says, there's no difference between day 1 and day 7 and day 1 and day 8. We could count them all. According to Rabbi Eliezer, I started a chazaka. I see that this person doesn't have ziv on day 1. The chazaka continues out 7 days, 8 days, it doesn't matter. I don't need to bracket it. It's not important to top it off at day 7 with a b'dika or day 8. Because day 8 doesn't count really. Everybody agrees day 8 is not part of it. No, I need to bracket it. Day 8 is not part of it, and therefore even Rabbi Eliezer agrees that there's no chazaka that this person is tar, because all you're left with is 1 day of bdik on day 1, and that's it. I need to have something at the end to tell me that there's no ziva on day 7, and you don't have that, you only have it on day 8. Meisvei, it says in the Brayis V'shavin, these 3, so what you have here really is you have 3 mandarmim, in Rabbi Shua smack in the middle. And it says in the Brayis of V'shavin, 2 of them agree with each other. So which 2 are they? So Gemara wants to say it's Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua. V'shavin b'zavu shebatku atzim yerishim yishmini. Oh, our case, and they both admit umatzutar, and there's no dam on day 8. She'ein lahem el shmini b'vad. It doesn't count as tahara. You could start counting from day 8 on. My shavin lav Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua. L'choira, it could be these 2, and you see that Rabbi Eliezer holds that the day it doesn't count. You don't count this as a tahara. You just could start from day 8 and on. Loi, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Kiva. V'shavin means that these 2 agree with each other, because Rabbi Yeshua is in the middle. He could go either way. He could go with Rabbi Kiva, or he could go with Rabbi Eliezer. The most lenient or the most stringent, he's in the center. So no, we'll just be mefarish the brisa that Rabbi Yeshua goes like Rabbi Kiva. Fine. Omer Rav Sheshes. Omer Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Rabba Omer Rav. Niddah she'efrisha b'tahara b'shlishi shelo. A niddah who did a hefsek tahara on the third day of her niddas. She did a bdika on day 3. When does a niddah do bdikas? Never. The last day. But a niddah doesn't do bdikas because it doesn't matter how much dam a niddah sees midiraisa. A niddah could see dam all through 7 days. And if she stops seeing dam 5 minutes before shkia, she goes to the mikvah. There's no point of her to do a bdika on day 3. Niddah shefrisha b'tahara b'shlishi shelo seifarto leminyan shiva nekim. She'll do shiva nekim. Shiva nekim. He already looked at me like crazy. What niddah does shiva nekim? Zmanazeh maybe, but not then. Niddah sfira lamala. Who does shiva nekim for niddah? There's no shiva nekim. Ela ema zava shefrisha b'tahara b'shlishi shelo. If we're not talking about a niddah, we're talking about a zava, and she saw dam for 3 days. She saw ziva for 3 days. What does that make her if she sees ziva for 3 days? A zava g'dayla. So when she did a bdika on day 3, seifarto leminyan shiva nekim, she can count day 3 as one of her 7 days of nekim. Is that a problem? A huge problem. Why? Because we know that you only start counting the next day, the following day. Who counts 1 day early? A kusi. Rav is like a kusi. Why? We learned earlier in the Lamed somewhere that all kusim, the metama medras, because they're always with their wives who are zavais. Why? Because the wives think that they could go to the mikvah 1 day earlier than usual because they start counting the count at the wrong date. They start counting on the 3rd day rather than the 4th day. They use the final day of ziva as one of the days of shiva nekim, and that's not how you do it. You have to wait until the following day and start counting then. So Mela Rav, who decided that you could count on the 3rd day, that's a problem. The Amri Yom Shepoisek is Boisei in Shiva, because they hold that you could use one of the days that you see ziva as one of the shiva nekim. Says Gemara, you're right. Kikam Rav lebar mishlishi. Rav never meant you could use the 3rd day. He meant right after the 3rd day. Bar mishlishi pshita. What everybody knows that you see ziva for 3 days. On day 4, you start counting shiva nekim. Litzricha kigon deloi botko at shvi. What happened was she did do some sort of hefsek taira, but she didn't do a bedika on the 1st day. Vashmin and hasam tchilason aval pisha ein soifan. There's a chiddush here. We first said at the first chiddush in Rav, as we started the sugya, that the beginning, day 1 in Rebbe Eliezer, is enough to count all 7 days b'tahara. You don't need to do day 1 and day 8. Even day 1 is enough according to Rav. You start off day 1 and you see that there's no ziva, then that's a chazaka that she's not a zav. And another chiddush says Rav, aval pi she'ein tchilasan. All you need is the end, and you don't need the beginning. Fine, there's a very interesting Pischei Tshuva that says you could be makel. When do you use? You could use either the beginning, the 1st day, or the last day. When? When do you use the 1st day versus or the last day? So he says in a special case where the husband was with the wife and he didn't know that she's a zava, that she counted wrongly. So in order to be makel on him, we don't want him to think that he was with a zava. So we're makel like Rav. Anyways, zok the Gemara, the mouth the same tchilasan alf bishen soifan hu damrinon. I think I could only use the 1st out of the 7 days and continue from there on. Dukminu acheskayu. This is a chazaka. Since I didn't see anything on the 1st day, that chazaka continues. That's great. But to use the last day and say that counts for everything, not. Fine. So what does Rav say? Rav says at the end of the day, I don't really need to do a bedika. Why not? How do you explain Rav? Rav says, because all I need is that there's no dam. At the end of the day, there's no dam. She didn't see any dam. That's enough for me to establish that she's tahar, as long as she did a bedika on day 7. She did a real bedika, Now she wrapped it all up with a bdika. She didn't see dam. Fine, so I had 7 nikim. I don't need to do a bdika halachically midiraisa every single day of the 7.
But she has to do a hefsek.
Yeah, that's what I stuck in. I don't know if you noticed. I stuck in the beginning. I said there was some sort of hefsek tire in the beginning. She just didn't do a bdika on day 1. Rashi. Eini. Baki asa ravin. Oh, here's the fun stuff. One of the most interesting sugyas in Masechtas Niddah was the sugya of Toya on Daf Chavtes. If you remember, we had a chart that looked like the American flag. I only realized afterwards. It goes like this. Fine. What's Toya? Toya is a woman who shows up. We know that she was pregnant once upon a time. She shows up without a baby, without a pregnancy. She was in a car accident. She has no idea what happened. She doesn't know if she gave birth, if she gave birth to a miscarriage, if it was a miscarriage, when it happened, a month ago, 2 months ago. So that Gemara was trying to come up with the most amount of times a woman has to be toivel. And we came up with 80, even 100. And that whole sugi was based on the concept of tvila bizmano mitzvah. Once a woman hits the time that she can go to the mikveh, she must go to the mikveh. So if she goes to the mikveh in the morning, if she's in the morning and she can go to the mikveh because she's a zava, zavas always go to the mikveh even in the morning, let her go to the mikveh right away, boof. Then at night she's a niddah, she goes to the mikveh for a niddah. So you could get this woman to go to the mikveh 2 times in one day. Don't say push it off to the night. Fine, that was the concept over there. Without going deeply into that sugya, and we're only going to be talking about the first week right now, it says like this. Eini b'ka'asi Ravin Omar Mazar Rav Yosi b'Rabbi Chanina Toya. Okay, I have a question from the sugi of Toya. I don't know what the question is. The Kaimelon Shavua Kamod Asil Kamon. Here, she shows up right over here, and we tell her go to the mikveh a bunch of times. How many times can we tell her to go to the mikveh? Bilei vasa madbin lo. She does not go to the mikveh as a zava on the first week. She goes to the mikveh as a Yuledes Zachar. It's possible she gave birth to a boy, and now she came on day 8 after the birth. Day 8, you have to go to the mikveh for Tahara. Yeah? 8 days before she showed up, she had a birth to a boy. Today is day 8. What does a woman do 8 days after she gives birth to a boy? She goes to the mikveh. She goes to the mikveh over here on day 1. On day 2, maybe when she showed up, it was 6 days before she gave birth. She gave birth 6 days earlier, 7 days earlier. So this is day 8, and every day could be day 8 of when she gave birth. She goes to the mikveh every single day. Why didn't she go to the mikveh? Maybe she's a zava. Maybe she just finished her 7 nikim when she showed up. What does that teach us? That in order to go to the mikveh, in order for us to trust her, it has to be in front of us. We have to see the ziva. We have to see the nikim that she counts. That's all we want. I have a situation where she should be toivel another 7 times in the morning. Maybe when she gave birth, she had all the ziva right before she gave birth. Then she gave birth, but she can't count shiva nakim. Why? Because she's still tmeya from Leda. As soon as the tumah is over, let her start counting 7 nakim. And when she showed up, it happens to be, it was the day 8 of her shiva nakim. Let her go to the mikveh in the morning because of that. We learn from here that she doesn't go to the mikveh because of that, because those 7 nikim have to be in front of us. We need to be sure that she's counting. She doesn't know anything. If she told us she's sure, great. But she says, I don't know what happened. Amnesia. She has no idea. So Mela doesn't count for us. It's not just, what does Rav say? Rav says, I don't need any counting. All I need to know is that physically there's no dam. No, there's no sphira, there's no bdika, there's nothing. On day 7, she does 1 bdika, end of the story. From here you see that a woman needs to count every single one of the 7 nikim.
But if we said that she has to do a hefsek and she doesn't know if and when and where and when,
I mean, according to Rashi, that there was a hefsek, but maybe that hefsek just says that there's no. All that's telling us is that there's no dam.
That's right.
Okay, so maybe physically there's no dam. You don't have to halachically do a hefsek. Elalav shmamino bidin svurim b'foneinu. Says the Gemara, "V'lav mi kimno kiRebbi Akiva." We already established, and the Gemara says Mefurish over there when we learned the sugi. You should all remember from Daf Chavtes. We said that goes like Rebbe Akiva. The Amar Binon Spurim Lefonenu. That's Rebbe Akiva, but I Rav don't hold like Rebbe Akiva. I don't need Spurim Lefonenu. You bring me a raya from a sugi that goes according to Rebbe Akiva. That sugi, you're right, holds you need to count in front of me. Rav again. So what does Rav hold? Rav holds the woman doesn't need to. She could be in a coma. She could be coming out of a car accident, and she counts 7 Nikim. All the 7 days she was in a coma in the hospital, count the Shiva Nikim. Why? Because she didn't see Dam during those 7 days. Physically, she didn't see Dam. What does Rebbe Akiva say? No. A woman needs to count. She has to do bdika. She has to count it. It has to be official. You can't just say, oh, she didn't have Dam. So that's the machlokes. So who argues with the Rebbe Akiva? Chachamim. Says the Gemara, U'minatemra de l'Rabbanon lo be'inin sfurim lefonenu. So this is one of those Gemaras that goes for 24 lines now. The question is 24 lines long. If you turn the page to Samach Tesam and Beis, I recommend it for a second, mamish a second, just to see so you get a overview what's going on, what we're anticipating here. The Gemara says 9 lines down. What? Yeah, we could just skip. Yeah, skip to the punchline for a second, and maybe if you behave, we'll just skip the whole thing. We'll save you from the whole Taya thing. All the Gemara is asking, after the whole arichos of the Gemara is talking about how many times does this woman go to the mikveh? Does she go 11 times, 9 times, 15 times? What's going on? How many times? And finally, the Gemara says, but wait a minute. Why should she go bichlal to the mikveh on this first week that she shows up? Call Hanit Tfilos Lamali. Why should she go at all? Tispar Shiva Vahadat Titbal. According to Rebbe Akiva, a woman should start counting. The day she shows up to Bez and says, I don't know what happened to my baby, I lost it somewhere, there was a miscarriage, I don't know what it was, I don't know when, how. So they should say, you know what, start counting today. Because you need to do an official count. All these tefillos that the Gemara is talking about, 15 and 11, start going to the mikveh. The minute she shows up to Bezdin, she has to go in the mikveh. They take her, they put her in a mikveh. Why? That's all if I could just say theoretically that she's tar. But if I need a real count, she hasn't counted. She's made that she didn't count. She has no idea. So she shouldn't go to the mikveh at all. She should wait 7 days before she goes to the mikveh. Now that you know the question, let's go to the beginning of the sugya. Says the Gemara, how do you know the concept? The Rabbanon hold, you don't need a count physically. All we need to know is that she doesn't have dam. It's not. Toya, again, but this is a different case than we had on Daf Chavtes. This is a woman who's confused. She has no idea. She has amnesia. She blocked out. She has no idea. She says, I do know one thing. I know that I saw dam for 1 day. Whereas in the case on Daf Chavtes that we learned, she doesn't know anything. She doesn't see dam. She doesn't know if she gave birth, what she gave birth. Over here she says, I saw 1 day. The first week, she goes to the mikveh 9 times. Very easy. Why? Shav l'niddah, 7, because maybe right now, the day she showed up is the final day of her niddas, so she goes today. Tomorrow she goes because maybe tomorrow's the final day of her niddah days, etc. for 7 days. And maybe the day she showed up is her first day of a niddah. So maybe 7 days later she goes to the mikveh. Utrei leziva. 2 for ziva. Why? Because we're talking about a zavak here. A zavak, if she saw dam yesterday, she says, I saw dam 1 day. That makes her, perhaps, a zavak. We don't know if she saw dam in days of ziva or in days of niddah. We have no idea. That we don't know. But she saw 1 day of dam. When did she see it? Maybe she saw it yesterday. What's today called? Today is a shemeres yom keneged yom. She has to keep 1 clean day. Great. Put her in the mikveh. Because you could go to the mikveh the day, the night, whatever. Then the following day you go. And it could be that she saw a dam today. So when is her shemeres yom? The following day. So she goes to the mikveh twice for ziva, 7 times for niddah, equals 9. Ben hashmashos tamerisi. If she comes along and she adds a word, she says, I saw it ben hashmashos. Now ben hashmashos could be day, could be night, it could be right now. When does she go to the mikveh? Madbilin oisa achad esrei tfilos. Where'd I get 11? Not only did she see it bein hashmashos, but she showed up on bein hashmashos. Since right now she showed up, right now it could be yesterday, it could be tomorrow, so we add another day for Niddah, and we add another day for Ziva, and together we get to 11. What if she says, I haven't seen any dam? What should be? Less tefillas or more tefillas? Says the Gemara, more tefillas. Incredible. Omarava haydina deloydina. This is a din that makes no sense. Dayone begalache. This is a din that happened in Zdaim. Now the Gemara says a story. It's going to be in your next book here. We have it though in Sanhedrin. You probably remember from there. The Islay Torah Liri Chad Yoma. They said in Zdaim, if you have an ox, you have to take everybody else's oxen, and you have to plow the fields with them for one day. The Leslie Torah, if you're a Nebuch, you don't have anything, you don't own an ox. Lirei Trei Yoimim. There you have to take everybody, you're responsible for everybody else's oxen, plow the fields with them, work hard. If you're a rich guy, you have an ox, you only have to work for one day. If you're a poor guy, you have to work for 2 days. That's dime. Says the Gemara, there's a story. There's a Yasam who's the son of a widow. Okay, I guess a lot of orphans are sons of widows. But this one, in other words, he didn't have a father, he had a mother. So they said, listen, you're a poor guy, you're a Yasam, you have nothing. It's your turn to plow the fields for 2 days.
Not to plow the field. So just to wash them.
To watch them.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he says Leroy.
It says great.
He says Leroy.
So that's what he's saying. He's saying just
see to use them to work with them.
No.
Leroy.
Leroy is to shepherd them.
Right, to use them, to work with them, to take them
Okay.
out of the field. That's what I mean.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's the 2 days. It's a 2-day watching system. If you don't have, you do for 2 days. Leroy's.
Take meat out to the field.
Yeah,
That's what you want
yeah.
an animal.
It's the same thing.
It's a job.
Basically the same thing.
Shepherd.
No,
No
that's
working, not no working.
You can't work.
A shepherd's job is to take an animal to graze.
That's
The
it.
job of the shepherd.
That's his job.
Thank you. Shabbos.
Hello, Rami. Good morning. Okay, Ozal Nachsinu. The Yassim was a brilliant kid. He went and he shechted the animals. He killed them. What's pshat?
So grazing means killing. That's what it was.
Nachsinu.
I don't know, job, work.
Amalu, this leitoira lishkol chad mashka, and he made an announcement. If you own any oxen, take one hide. The less leitoira, but if you're a poor guy, lishkol trei mashche, you should take 2. Anyways, everything's the opposite of logic. Amrilei, my haiko amris. No, I understand you killed my ox, but what's the shtus that you're saying? Amrilahu, soiv dina to tchilas dina. It's the same logic. I'm following the same reasoning as you. Tchilas dina alav man the lesle odif. The one who doesn't have, he benefits more. He has to work 2 days. He gets 2 instead of 1. So dina nami man the lesle odif. So too, if you don't have, you get more than whoever has. Hachanami says Rava. This lady, this mom is like Zdaim. If she knows that she saw dam, you say, okay, she goes to the mikveh 9 times. If she doesn't know, all of a sudden you make her go to the mikveh 15 times. Rabbi Side, don't forget, we're in the middle of a question here. That's why I jumped to the end. We're going on tangents here and trying to figure the whole situation out. The point is one. If you don't consider any days that she's not here, then she shouldn't go to the mikveh at all. She either needs 9 or 11. She says, I don't even know if I saw dam at all. She doesn't even know if she saw dam. Says Rava, we have to fix the brisa, insert words. We have to tailor this brisa a little bit. That what? I don't know. She says, I saw, but I don't know how many I saw. I don't know if it's 1, I don't know if it's 3, I have no idea. I have no idea when I saw it. In what period of time? The 7 days of Niddah or the 11 days of Ziva? Now I need 15. The Gemara explains why. If she showed up during the day, remember the halacha of tefillah bismana mitzvah, that it's a mitzvah to go to the mikvah immediately when you could possibly go, and a zava could go to the mikvah in the daytime. She doesn't have to wait till the night. So maybe I give her 7 for the Niddah days and 8 for ziva. Okay, so that's 15. I give her 8 for Niddah and 7 for ziva. Why? Because the Niddah, maybe she just finished. Right now, maybe she just finished her Niddah days. But maybe she just started in Niddah days, and Memela, you give her the extra 1. And 7 for ziva. In fact, the Gemara, where do you come up with 7 for ziva? Ziva, tamnya baya. Ziva, you always need 8. Because the day that she just came, maybe that's the day she started. Elo, idi v'idi, shavle Niddah v'tamne ziva. You're right. In all cases, regardless when she shows up, night or day, you give her a total of 15 tefillos. So if she comes at night, she needs 8 for Niddah. The question is, why don't I give her, maybe sometimes I should give her 16 tefillos, because if she comes at night, she needs an extra tefillah. The answer is, we don't know. Sometimes you give 16, sometimes you give 15. So it's not 100% the case. So therefore, we just made one general rule. It's 15 tefillos. You're right, sometimes it is 16. So it's not, we don't know for sure what a Niddah gets. Sometimes she gets 8, sometimes she gets 7. You're right, if she comes at night, she gets 8. Okay, fine. So we have 9 tefillos, 11 tefillos, 15 tefillos. That's the Gemara, the question that we're trying to get to. And if the halacha is like Rebbe Kiva, that you have to count each and every day that she has to count. She has to know that she's counting. She can't be a toya that shows up and says, Shalom Aleichem, I just came out of a car accident and I don't know what happened. That's not good counting. If so, why does she have to do 15 tefillos or 11? Tisbar Shiva v'hada tidbol. First, she should count properly, like Rebbe Kiva says. From today on, start counting nicely. Do a b'dika every night, count, and then go to the mikvah. Oh, Rabbanani. This goes according to Rabbanon. The Amri lebi'inon spurim lefanenu. Rav goes according to Rabbanon, who hold you don't need a count. As long as there's no dam there for 7 days, that's the count. Amalei Rav Achaber the Rav Yosef Rav Ashi. Lav Turutzi Komitartzin law. You Rava, you fixed up the brisa. You stuck in some words. If you're already fixing it up, Tarz Veimachi. Safarti. Yes, I did. I did count. Not that I didn't count. The way Rava said, what did Rava fix up here? He said, Re'isi, Veini Dea Kama Re'isi. I saw, I don't know how much, but there's no sphira. No, we're going to fix it up. We're going to stick in the word Safarti into the brisa. So she actually did do a sphira. And if she did do a sphira, that could go according to everybody. Even Rebbe Kiva agrees that if she did a sphira, it counts. Safarti Veini Das Kama Safarti. Even may Niddah Safarti, even may Ziva Safarti. Then Malvin Lois Chomesh Esri Tfilos. Safarti Veini Das Kama Safarti. But if she actually counted Chad Yom Emiyev Shadoloi Safra, she counted at least 1 day. So she can't go to the mikveh for that day. She already counted. So she came on day 2, let's say. So she could only go to the mikveh for another 6 days. You have to take off a day. You don't have 15, you have only 14 or whatever. So, okay, you're right. So she doesn't know exactly if she counted or didn't count. Perhaps she did count, perhaps she didn't count. So the number remains the same. All right. How many more Mishnahs do we have left? I didn't even check. No, it's not the last Mishnah. Okay. Rabbi Isai, Wednesday is the big Siyum HaShas, the worldwide Siyum HaShas. I hope everybody joins. I'll be there, Be'ez Hashem. Yeshua will be there. What else? Motzei Shabbos, our Siyum HaShas, Chanukas HaBayis. It's a tremendous... Ouch. It's a goodbye party to Chaniche. Thank you. It's Kedai to convince your friends to start Daf Yomi. It's an amazing time. Seriously, pick up that phone, convince the people you know. It doesn't have to be for this year. Any year in the world, you don't understand how many schusim you have. Every person you convince, think about Yeshua and Price, how many schusim the guy has running around. Right, Barak?
Thursday morning? Is brachas?
Sunday morning is brachas, not Thursday morning.
Why?
Because Wednesday night is January 1st, it's New Year's, so they reserve the stadiums in New York. But that's not when the Siyum HaShatz really is. Siyum HaShatz is Shabbos. Sunday morning starts brachas Daf Beis. We are starting in the new building, Beis Hashem, and if not in the new building, if we get kicked out for whatever reason, right next to the new building in Prushim, not here. Get your friends, sign them up, you'll have a part of their Torah forever. Says the Mishnah. What?
150 people at the show.
Yes. In Chicago, I gave a share there for a while, so Daf Beis Brachas went from 6 people to 35 people on day 1. Day 2 is 30. And then it kind of dwindled down back to the 6.
All like they shaman.
All right, Zok the Mishnah. But whoever shows up during Niddah, he gets to stay forever. That's how it works. You hear that? All right, Zok the Mishnah. Hazav v'hazava v'hanida v'hirledes v'ametzoyer shemesu. People that die within their tumah, they're in the middle of being tamei. There's zav and a zava nida yiledes v'ametzoyer shemesu. B'tam and b'masa. They have tumas masa. Now we all know that a dead person is metama, b'maga, b'masa, b'oil. So what in the world is the Mishnah telling me? A zav is also metama b'masa. Okay, shkoyach. So the Gemara is going to explain that we're talking about a special tumah of Even Masama. Okay? We'll see in a second. But we're not talking about it. It's a special chiddush. But of course, every dead person has tumas masa. Until when? At Shiyim Kabasar. Until the meat decays. Yeah, is that what the article says on the word Yimoik? Nisrak. Oh yeah, decays. Nachi Shemes. A guy, says Rashi, that has a halach of a zav his whole life. Why? Because we don't want our children associating. Actually, you got to be careful. With zavim. We don't want our children associating with zavim. So Mela, they are zavim, but when they die,
This guy knows. You just said you gotta be careful. They usually summon.
they usually don't stick around to the end of the shit. It's always the beginning. Tar militame. His ziva expires when he dies. Yeah? Because he's not a real zav. A real zav, when he dies, doesn't expire. But a guy is a fake zav. Beishamai say that a woman, even though she's not a niddah, she dies in her niddah. So what? You have to take the clothing and be toivel them. You can't use the dead woman's clothing. Yes, if she was a niddah, she continues to tumas niddah into her death. But not if she wasn't a niddah. As the Gemara, my b'masa, what does it mean that a metzayra who dies, he's tamei masa? Ilay masa mamish. Right? What does masa mean? Masa means that if this is the dead person, my clock over here, and I don't even touch him, I just lift up this cup, I'm tamei because I lifted up a dead person. I caused it to lift up. So, otru kol meis miloy metamei masa, every meis has this tumah. Elomai b'masa, be'even misama. Oh, what's even misama? Here. Let's say, here, very good. This is the dead person on top of my huge stone. This thing weighs hundreds of pounds. I can't lift it myself. What?
A boulder.
This is a boulder.
Is it connected to the ground?
This is a boulder that, no, not connected. I use this to cover a giant hole, a pit in the ground. And underneath it is something that's tar. Do you guys see how this little guy cannot lift up this 10,000 pound boulder? It doesn't work. So since he can't lift him up, he's not lifting him up, so he's not been masa. If this thing only weighed a pound and this is lifting it up, so I just did masa with this. I consider it, even though it's on the ground, I consider this as lifting up my tumah, which is above my stone. What's the connection between this guy and the tumah above? The connection is the stone. If I lift up the stone, then I'm lifting up the tumah. But since this guy cannot lift up the tumah because this stone right over here weighs thousands of pounds, it's not liftable. Is such a word?
You lift it with a crane, does that make a difference? Please?
The crane is tumah. Yeah, it makes a difference. The crane becomes tumah. Nah, I'm hacking. No, it doesn't make a difference. Fine.
Also becomes tummy.
Time out. Nachamal. I don't know. Did you understand? I understood what I was saying. I don't know if you guys.
So does it become
If you have a stone that cannot be lifted, so whatever's underneath the stone is not considered as if it lifted up the stone, because nobody can lift the stone. If you could lift up the stone, it's not that heavy. So whatever rests, if the stone rests on something that's tar, and there's something tummy on top of the stone, then it's as if the tar item on the bottom lifted up the stone and the tummy together, and this thing on the bottom becomes tummy. What's happening over here is we have a zav that's dead. He's lying on top of the giant stone. So whatever's underneath the stone becomes tamei, even though typically it doesn't become tamei. It's a special gzeira that whatever's underneath a giant stone becomes tamei.
only by a zav?
Only by a zav. Why? The Gemara is going to explain. As far as you want. Twin Towers, all the way in the bottom. If you have a tar thing lifting up the Twin Towers, Evan Masama, Kilo lifted it up. The chsiv. Vehesius even chado besumas al pum guba by Daniel. He was in the guva aroyos, right? Guba. He was in a pit. So I think the king over there said, take this giant boulder and close up the pit. So it's one of these things that you can't move. It's not movable. My timer. What's the gzera? Omer Rav gzera shema yis alpha. We're concerned that the zav is going to faint, and people are going to say that this fainted zav is dead. And since he's dead, his tumah expires. So we said, no, if a zav is dead, his tumah continues, and it's very, very bad. It does also tumas misama. Until the zav's stomach splits, that's when the tumah expires. Tanya Omer Rebbe, so why is that a guy, his tumah expires even though he's a zav, considered a zav? It's only takanas chachamim. We can start the sugya tomorrow if we want, or we could start it now. What do you guys want to do? Do a little bit. We'll do a little bit. Torah Rabbanan. Shnei Masa Devarim Shoalu Anshel Alexandria es Rebbe Yeshua ben Chanina. I don't know what it says on the side. I don't have time. So they asked 12 shilos. Shloisha divrei chachma. They asked 3 questions in halacha. Shloisha divrei agada. Shloisha divrei buras. 3 shtusim. Shloisha divrei derech eretz. Manners or the way people act. Shloisha divrei chachma. Hazav v'hazav v'ani. Now we're going to go through all 12. First question is, what happens to zav and zav v'ani deveilez v'amtzay shemesu? They died. Ad mosai mitam masa. Until what point? Omer lahen at sheyima kabasar. Simple enough. When the flesh decays. Bas mishulachas ma'ilekayin. You have a woman who was divorced. The halacha is if a woman gets divorced, she's allowed to. It's a mitzvah to remarry her. But if somebody else marries her in between, you're not allowed to marry her. What happens if the first husband was over and married her? What's the halacha? Is she like a halala? What's her halacha? Ma'ilekayin. Could a kain marry her? Mi'amrina gavachaymer.
The daughter.
Yeah, sorry, the daughter. Bas Mishulachas, the daughter. Question. Umal mana l'koyin gadol sheini isura shava b'koil b'napagum. Almana, the koyin gadol, who married a koyin gadol. She's not only married a koyin gadol, but she married him anyways. Her daughter has a b'gam. Zu shisura shava b'koil. In addition, b'napagum, no one, in other words, no man who divorces his wife can remarry his wife, his own wife, after she married somebody else. This is a halacha that's for all human beings, not just kohanim gdolim. Wait a minute. The woman who marries a kohen gadol when she wasn't supposed to, something happens to her herself. Therefore, something could happen to her kid. But this woman, nothing happened to her. Omar lohen hi toyeva ve'ein bonel toyevim. There's a special meal that says no, but it says in the machzik rushasa, it says the word he. She becomes a toyeva, but her kids not. They can marry kohanim. Have a wonderful day. Tomorrow 7:15.